Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Teacher Kayla here today. I just wanted to do an updated video because as of today I have been with VIPKid for 365 days. So today is my 1-year anniversary of working for VIPKid, and I just wanted to give you guys kind of an update and some insights, some things I've learned, some things I don't like, some things I love. Just sharing about my journey with VIPKid. So first I'll just give you some insights. So like I said, I've been teaching today 365 days. I have taught 228 students and 1,170 classes. So you might be thinking, why do you have so many classes but not that many students? That is because I teach a lot of regular students. So that just means that every week the same students are coming back and they're consistently booking me the same times, the same days every week. So I have a lot of the same students that I teach on a daily basis, and they just, I guess, enjoy my teaching style. So everybody has to kind of find their teaching style, and those students will come to you. So I know that when I first started with VIPKid, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, you have to have so much energy. Like, all of the people that I've seen on the ads are so like crazy and excited, and it's good to be that way, and I can be sometimes depending on the student. But for the most part, I'm pretty chill. Like, you don't have to be crazy, pumped up, excited, ready to run a marathon every time you teach a class, because for some students that doesn't help them learn. I have a lot of very shy and reserved students who don't really like that in your face, super excited teaching style, and that's okay. And I have some students who really do. So it just depends on the students that you get. And I really like teaching regular students just because they know what to expect when they come to class. You know what to expect from those students. A lot of my regulars are great. When I first started, I had some that I just dreaded teaching. And actually, it's so funny, those students have really kind of fallen off my schedule completely. Every now and then, they will pop back up, but for the most part, the students that I started teaching with are not necessarily the ones that I have now. I have a couple that still show up to class with me 2 or 3 times a week that I've had since the very beginning. And so you just find those students that you mesh with and that your teaching style works well with. So one of the I wanted to share like a best and worst thing about VIPKid that I have seen in my year being with them. The best thing, in my opinion, is being able to make your own schedule. This is a really cool gig because you can work 8 hours a day if you want, and make this a full-time position. You would have a weird schedule, but you could do it. And if you wanted to work 2 hours a day, make a little extra cash, you can do that too. So it's really cool that they don't have like a certain number of classes that you have to teach to be contracted with them. You can literally make your own schedule. You decide when you want to open slots for students to book. That's hands down the best thing. Another great thing, of course, is meeting all of these awesome students and their families. So a lot of the times, I don't really get to meet families. Sorry, my computer. I have my notes on my computer that I'm looking at behind the camera, and the screen darkened. But anyway, I don't necessarily get to meet the families so much, but every now and then, like, I'll have a parent pop in, or grandpa walk by or something like that, and you kind of get a glimpse into the life of the student that you're teaching, and it's really cool. So yeah, it's really cool to be able to make connections with your students and build a relationship with them, and it's just a lot of fun to meet all of the students. So that's definitely the best thing, setting your own schedule. The worst thing is definitely like the timing and like the time zones. So daylight savings time just started or ended or whatever it does. We just lost an hour. But that is good for me because that means I gain an extra hour of teaching. Depending on your schedule. I mean, people stay up, or, you know, they wake up at 3 o'clock and they teach until 9 every morning, depending on your time zone. It's just, it's weird, with the time zone. So I would say that's probably the worst thing, is trying to figure out what time it is in Beijing and what's the best times for me to teach here and doing this and that and the other thing. And the platform really does, make it easy to understand and like look at and visualize. But it can still be difficult to kind of make like a normal 9 to 5 schedule out of it. If you were going to work 8 hours a day, you would probably have to break it up. But you can build your own schedule. So it's pretty cool. It's just the time zones are weird. So I would say that's probably the worst thing. Another thing I wanted to talk about is burnout. A lot of teachers talk about this, and it's a real thing. You can definitely get burnout very quickly. For me, my burnout happens when I'm teaching for long periods of time. So, which it's funny because I just updated my schedule and I'm like pushing really hard because I'm trying to save up a lot of money right now. But I opened up a ton of slots, and I'm hoping that I can like resist some of this burnout. But I know that for me, burnout happens when I'm teaching a lot of classes. So I'm just going to try to avoid the burnout as much as I can. I've noticed that changing up like my classroom decor, like I have my St. Patrick's Day stuff out. I bought like a little tinsel garland thing for St. Patrick's Day. That really helps me avoid burnout. It's almost like coming into a new space. Like, I don't know, it's like fun to be here. And so obviously it's fun for the kids if it's fun for me to have all this stuff. I like to do like themed rewards. So like my Find a Star is all like St. Patrick's Day stuff, different little green things, like a little teddy bear with a shamrock frog, a tree with shamrocks on it. So that really helps me avoid burnout. It's just changing things up in my classroom. And I've actually started teaching several level 4 and level 5 students, and I found that Find a Star is fun for everybody. But with the older kids, it's just blah to them. Like, they'll do it and they like to get the stars and they get excited, but it's not as much fun to them as it is to like a level 2 student who they're much younger and they just like, they're like, oh my gosh, I found a star, like there's a star under that number. Whereas the older kids are like, there was bound to be a star somewhere. Like, I'm like, you're really not surprising me that much. So I actually, with one of my regular students, she is actually level 3, and I normally wouldn't do this with a level 3, just because a lot of the level 3 classes have a lot of content material to cover. But this one student that I have, she's so sweet and so smart. Like, we zoom through the lessons, even if they're pretty difficult. She's just very smart and she gets them done really quick. So, just like impromptu, we normally play tic-tac-toe. She loves tic-tac-toe as a reward. But last week I noticed she was kind of getting bored with it. She was just kind of like, you know, she just was over it. She's like, I've done tic-tac-toe so many times. So I asked her if she wanted a new reward, and it was just like asking questions. So I actually have had these for a while, and I have been meaning to put them into action in my classroom, but I could never really figure out how, because a lot of my students are younger students. Like, I liked this concept, but at the time when I like printed it and laminated it and everything and wanted to use it, I didn't have a lot of older students or students who were able to communicate with me easily. And so this one regular that I have, I asked her if she wanted a new reward, and she said yes, and I told her we would do questions and we would talk as a reward. And so she was very excited about it, and this was so fun, you guys. So I'm definitely going to implement this more. Like I said, this all goes with the burnout thing that I mentioned. me switching this kind of thing up helps me avoid burnout. And now that I've been doing this for a year, I'm realizing that maybe this game is like the kids are burning out. You know, they've seen this over and over and over again. Granted, I change it out every single week. It's a different background behind all of the numbers. It's not the same thing every week. But like I mentioned, I have students who see me 2 or 3 times a week. You know, we're doing the same Find a Star. So I'm trying to find some new things that are easy to implement. I found that it kind of scares me trying to do new rewards, just because I've got my pacing down to a T finally, to where I'm done at 25 minutes. I'm saying goodbye. I'm logging out at 25 minutes, and then that way I have a full 5 minutes between classes to do feedback, to make sure the dog is okay, to straighten up my props, to get my new stuff ready for my next class. And so I think what scares me is trying to implement a new reward and not really knowing how much time it's going to take. So I knew with my one student that I tried this with that it would be great, because she will go through, like, if we just clicked through the slides, she would be able to do a 28 slide lesson in probably 5 to 7 minutes. Like, it's almost too easy for her. She's understanding the material really, really well, and so it's almost too easy. So I knew that this would be perfect for her because I knew I would have the time for it. So I just need to branch out and try some new things, and use those new rewards. So another thing I wanted to mention, this kind of goes along with current events happening. Everybody knows about the coronavirus and how it's affecting us here, and how it's affected those in China. Thankfully, I have not seen any of my students being personally affected by the virus in China, which is great. I have had a few tell me that they're sick, or, you know, their dad is sick or something, but never have I heard anything like detrimental happening to the students that I teach personally, so I'm very thankful for that. But it's affected VIPKid in a couple of ways, so it's been a positive thing for VIPKid. You know, not to say that this is a good virus, but many students have been told not to leave their house. Their winter break that started in January for Chinese New Year was extended, and normally I think it's like a 1 or 2 week break. It's very similar to our Christmas break that we have here in America, where it's, well, specifically in Georgia, where it's you know, we have a 2 week break for Christmas, and they have that same kind of break for their Chinese New Year. It has been postponed, like, and the kids are still at home. They're not going out. So a lot of kids are turning to the online platform and taking classes with VIPKid because they can do it from the comfort of their own home. And so a lot of kids have been booking. I haven't really opened up my schedule outside of my normal time range. I am, not this week, but next week, I'm going to be teaching a lot more classes, so I will probably see more new students in those time slots. But I'm thankful for VIPKid, and I know that a lot of the families in China are as well, because at this time it's very hard for the students to learn because they're not going to school, and so the online platform has been very helpful for them to keep learning while they're stuck at home. Another way that the coronavirus has affected VIPKid is the Journey Conference. So the next Journey Conference was to be hosted in Atlanta. I was so excited. I bought one of the 700 tickets that sold out in like 10 minutes, if that, and I was super pumped. This is the conference that VIPKid holds. I think it's like twice a year or 3 times a year, I'm not really sure. And I had seen teachers go to ones before, like in Washington. I think they had one in Orlando. just kind of all over the place in big cities. And so the next one was planned for Atlanta, and it was actually going to be next weekend. And they ended up postponing Journey because of the coronavirus. They didn't want to risk anything by having so many people coming from different places and being put in one confined area in a hotel downtown. So even though I was very excited for the Journey conference, I was also very thankful that they decided to postpone for the health and safety of everybody. So there were a lot of people who were upset by this, which is understandable. A lot of people paid money to fly in or to come here, bought hotel rooms, did all kinds of stuff. So I hate that, but they did what was in the best interest of the majority of the community, everyone really. So that is just another way that the coronavirus has affected VIPKid. Another thing I wanted to mention is my profile. So a lot of people change their picture or their bio or their little intro video, and I should probably update my video. My little bio video that I have on my VIPKid page, I guess, that parents see. So when parents are looking for a teacher, they can scroll through and they can see your profile, they see your picture, and then they can click on you and they can see your little video. And it's basically just a video that says hi, welcome to my class, this is what to expect, book me, I'll see you soon, or whatever. And I have not changed any of my stuff since I started, which my pictures are probably fine, but I should probably update my video. However, that being said, I've never struggled with getting bookings or anything like that, and a lot of the times people will suggest that you update pictures or your video in order to get more bookings. So it also kind of scares me. I want to update it, but I also don't want to update it and then people will be like, I liked her old video better, and not book me or whatever, which is silly. It probably wouldn't affect me one way or the other, but I'm just scared, okay? So, yeah, so I've never had to change, I've never struggled getting bookings or anything like that. So, I think if you do your research and know what parents are expecting and what they're looking for, that if you upload the correct things to begin with, you probably won't have to do it more than once. Also, I wanted to add that I just signed my third contract with VIPKid. So I worked with them for a year, and my third contract will be the start of my second year. And I was offered a raise of an additional 50 cents a class, which was super exciting. That is something that you can look forward to if you are thinking about being with VIPKid for a long period of time. Every third contract you are up for a possible raise. So, or it's odd numbers, I think. So you don't get one on your first because you just started. So it's your first and second, and then your third you get a raise, or you're up for a raise, and then not your fourth but your fifth you're up for a raise, and not your sixth but your seventh you're up for a raise. So that is something to look forward to pretty much every other contract, which is awesome. That was something that I was hoping for. I didn't know if I would qualify or not for it, but I did, and I was super excited. So just something else to look forward to with VIPKid. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is more or less just a update, what I've been doing, what I think about VIPKid kind of thing. But yeah, I am just really excited to have been with this company for a whole year. They're great, everything about them. I love VIPKid. If you're interested in signing up for VIPKid, or if you have any questions at all about anything, the online teaching platform, I would be happy to answer them. You can ask in the comments, or if you know me, you're more than willing to text me or call me or email me. But my referral code and everything for VIPKid will be down in the description, and you can use that if you are interested in VIPKid, and I'd be more than willing to help you through the process. You just have to let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!